And here we go. Yeah. One last, final last send for Q&Assault Week 17, championship weekend for fantasy football. It's hardware weekend. It's trophy season. It's ring collecting. It's that time of the year. One matchup left. One matchup left for the rest of our lives. Yeah, we're going to yell today. I advise against it. Typically tell y'all to tuck your shirts in and no yelling. But it's been a long season. It's been a long off season. It's been a long summer. It's been a long motherfucking morning, honestly. But here we are for the final Q&Assaults of the regular season. We'll be doing some dynasty and rookie Q&Assaults throughout the offseason. So if you want to become a member and you want to be in these private live streams, you just got to go over to bdge.co and sign up. And we've got some cool shit we're working on for those y'all that are Big Dog members for the offseason that is very, very dynasty focused. We've got some very, very cool tools and projects we're working on that I can't wait to share with y'all. So that being said, we are in week 17. It is time to talk about fantasy foosball for one last time. One last time, we dive into the breaches of regular season prize pick player props. That's a lie, actually. We'll be doing player props for week 18 as well. And then we're doing a full playoff preview series. Every single game we're going to be breaking down and doing YouTube videos for the actual NFL playoffs. Jalen Waddle, I just don't care who his opponent is. I don't care who his quarterback is. This dude is 7th in the NFL in receiving yards and continues to just have people doubt him for whatever reason. They're just like, this might go wrong or this might go wrong. But every single time he comes and it goes right. As long as this dude is healthy, and remember, he had a stretch of games where he was unhealthy, and that's why he's receiving. He'd probably be top 3 or 4 in the league right now if he was healthy for the entirety of the season. But now that he's healthy, he's rocketed. I think he's doubled this yardage in each of the last 2 games. Yes, it's Teddy Bridgewater. Yes, it's the New England Patriots. But they're playing in Miami. They're playing in South Beach. They must protect this house, and Jalen Waddle is going to help them do it by going over 55.5 yards. All right? We want to talk about Uncle Bill taking away the best player. Jalen Waddle, great player, but Tyreek Hill is the best player. Who do you think they're going to focus on? Honestly, I don't care. That narrative is going to be tired and old when Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle get done with them. Teddy Bridgewater, don't care for him. Jalen Waddle, care very much for him. 55.5 receiving yards, fucking get out of here. Yeah. All right, so go over to PrizePicks. If you're a first-time depositor, use code BDGE, and you're going to get a 100% deposit match. You throw it on 10, you're going to get 20. You throw it on 20, you're going to get 40. And here we go. PrizePicks, baby. Link for the app in the description. How we doing out there? Willie Baby. Niner, how art thou? All right, well, whenever you guys are ready, we are ready to take some questions. Ooh, I got to water my plants. I've got to water my plants. Here we go. And they're coming in. Let me pull up my rankings. Let me get everything adjusted accordingly. So we have weather, and we have the weather outside is weather. So good news is we don't really have any weather to worry about. There's really nothing out of the ordinary as it pertains to the weather for this week. Hold on. Let me actually mess around and put this down here. Oh, no. What am I doing? Give me a sec to set the stream up. Correct lie. Now we're in fucking business. Let me X out of YouTube. Go back to StreamYard. Go up. Go up. I command you to grow. Okay. So we've got our rankings. Yes, no real weather concerns on the docket this week, which is a big change up from last week. It's a beautiful thing, so we don't have all this nonsense that we are dealing with. So we'll just X out of the weather tab. Love to see it. So we have quarterback question. Quarterback question to start it off. We have, who are we trusting in QB? Mike White, Gardner Minshew, or Brock Purdy? So Mike White's got the matchup, obviously, playing against Seattle. Brock Purdy has a good matchup against LV. I feel like this is not a game in which they're going to need to utilize Brock Purdy to a very high extent. They're not going to need to throw the ball because Jarrett Stidham is the quarterback for Las Vegas. I'd imagine this is just going to be a heavily utilized running back game. Deebo Samuel, injury, etc. Would be surprised if Purdy threw the ball more than like fucking 24 times in this game. Not a lot of upside there. So I'm going to move away from that. Gardner Minshew does have upside, though. In my rankings right now, current Loy, we have Minshew as the QB 10, Mike White as the QB 11. So Mike White's dealing with like fractured ribs. I fractured my shits in high school, and my God, did that shit hurt. And he's going to be playing uncomfortably, and it is a really good matchup against Seattle, but they are in Seattle. It's a cross-country trip. Makes me a little bit nervous with Mike White. I'm going to go with Gardner Minshew here, man. I'm going to go with Gardner Minshew. I think if you're playing either of those guys over him, you're probably overthinking it. This guy just came away with like 25, 26 fantasy points last week. I like Minshew even in a semi-tough matchup against New Orleans. So, yeah, give me Gardner there. Give me Gardy. Your thoughts on having – oh, there you go. Is that what you said? Is that what you're asking me? Is that the same question? Am I misreading? Oh, over Mike White. Well, I gave you the Mike White. Daniel. Yeah, Dan Jones a little bit lower in my rankings. He's QB 16 right now, as opposed to Minshew, who's 10. DJ just hasn't really given us many upside games. This feels like a game where it's like, yeah, it could be like a nice matchup, but I could also see this game ending in like a 16-10 score, right? Like, what's the over-under on this? It's probably like 38. Oh, I'm fucking good. 39. Again, like I just like Minshew's upside more than I like Daniel Jones's floor, which has been, I guess, kind of nice, but it's just too boring of a game where I feel like the outcome is extremely predictable in the lack of ceiling. What up? Tyler Algier over Chuba Hubbard this week? Of course, yes. Tyler Algier is going to go nutty. And pick 2, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. So we have Terry, we have Lazard, we have Hollywood, we have Chris Moore, and we have Josh Palmer. So I'm going to go with the first 2. Terry, I feel like is kind of a no-brainer. Even it didn't really matter for me with Carson Wentz or Taylor Heineke at quarterback. He's by far and away the most talented wide receiver on that list and has put up pretty decent production regardless of who is at quarterback. And it's just a really juicy matchup against the Cleveland Browns defensive backs. And then Lazard I really like because what's his face is banged up. Christian Watson. I don't know. Do we have an update on Watson playing? I think he's going to be a game time decision. Dealing with the hip. Biggest one, Christian Hobson. Did not practice Wednesday, Thursday, limited practice on Friday. Yeah, he's questionable. So I think even if he goes, he's going to be very underutilized. So I like Lazard in this matchup. Hollywood Brown with David Blau, that's a no for me. Chris Moore, if Cooks or Nico Collins is in the lineup, that's a no for me. Cooks is in the lineup, obviously. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just it's just an easy pick. Adam, baby, how we doing? Pick 3, PPR. Can only choose 2 running backs. Barkley, McKinnon, David Montgomery, Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Pittman, DJ Snark. I was reading the next word before I read the word Chark. Sneaky feeling on Chark and nervous on Hopkins. Yes, that is the right attitude to have. All right, so you can only go with 2 running backs. I mean, Barkley's an easy start here. I think you have to start McKinnon at this point too. He's just been way too good. So we're going Saquon, and we're going to go with McKinnon over Kenneth Walker. Walker's actually been surprisingly not great over the last bunch of weeks or whatever. Like he's had some big rushing games. He's had some good, like efficient games, but he's not been great for fantasy. So I'm going to start McKinnon over him, especially in full PPR. McKinnon's been a monster. Montgomery, I think he'll have a good game. Like Chicago is set to run the ball at a really, really heavy rate, I feel like. But I'm just going to go Barkley, McKinnon. In terms of wide receivers, Hopkins, man, I probably need to adjust the rankings a little bit more. I have Hopkins down at like wide receiver 21. That's probably too high without any real quarterback play. But full PPR, I got Chark in the 20s as well. And I have, who's the other option that you asked about? Pittman. Yeah, Pittman I moved down. He's down at 32. I just hated what I saw with him in Foles. So, you know what? I think you should go with your gut in this one. I think you should probably go Chark here. Love the energy, half-point PPR. Start 2, Miles Sanders, A.J. Dillon, Isaiah Pacheco. So we have half-point PPR. We have, was it 3 running backs? Miles Sanders against New Orleans. We have A.J. Dillon against, where the fuck do I have Dillon? All the way down here at 27. I feel like I need to move his ass up. I'm going to go with Miles Sanders and AJ Dillon here. Dillon's been red hot. He's been scoring touchdowns at an alarming rate. His thighs have just been built for winter, bro. Like he's ready to continue churning it out. Aaron Jones a little bit banged up, so I'm actually going to go with Sanders and Dillon here. Pacheco just has not provided a ceiling, really. Pick 2, Hopkins, Pittman, Hollywood, Dobbs, Elijah Moore. Ooh, okay. Man, this is a tricky one. So you have both Cardinals wide receivers, both of them playing with David. Is it Blow or Blau? If Hopkins doesn't play, what's the news on him? I kind of just assumed he was going to play. He was just going to be questionable all week and then not play. But now if they're just kind of throwing the season, maybe he left practice yesterday, so he's actually super duper questionable. All right, let's answer these from a perspective of Hopkins missing time or not. If Hopkins is out, I will go with wait, hold on. Hopkins, Pittman, Hollywood, dude. Okay. Half PPR. If Hopkins plays, I'm going to go with Hopkins and Pittman. If Hopkins doesn't play, I think I'm going to go with Pittman and Hollywood. That's where I'm going to go. The Giants have been terrible against wide receivers. And Pittman's kind of due. I don't hate Dobbs. I just feel like Rodgers at this time of the year, the Packers offense is just going to revolve around dudes that they both trust. And I feel like Dobbs has not really earned that from Rodgers right now. Full PPR, start 2 and flexes. Algier, Dillon, Pittman, Rachaad White, Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, I'm going to take the first 2, Algier and AJ Dillon. Skirt. I guess it gets a little bit closer, AJ Dillon and Rachaad White, just because Rachaad White's a little bit involved in the passing game. But I feel like we saw last week that they kind of gave the reins back to Leonard Fournette, so I'm nervous about Rachaad White's involvement right now. But I'm not really nervous about Algier. Great matchup. They're going to feed him until he can no longer eat. So I'd probably roll with the first 2 there. Hold up. What if D-Hop doesn't play? Would you still play Lazard over Hollywood? Yes, I still would. I still think that probably leaves Hollywood with like a I still think that the ceiling is just so low in this offense. The volume might be there, and it might be intriguing to be like, yeah, we know he's going to get 7-8 targets, but they're not going to be good targets. They're not going to be valuable targets. They're not going to be downfield targets, most likely. Full PPR with Ramondre on the questionable side and Damian Harris possibly playing. Thinking of playing Brian Robinson over Stevenson if Harris plays. Thoughts? I don't think. Give me a second. Sorry. I just don't think we're in a spot where I really want to sit Ramondre. He's been so fucking good this year. But Brian Robinson is in a smash spot right now. Like without Antonio Gibson, and they're playing against Cleveland. I mean, it's gonna get ugly there. So yeah, I think you'd be okay to do that. I think you'd be okay to play B-Rob if Damian Harris plays. PPR, Robinson's actually quietly getting more and more involved in the passing side of things, too. I hate to sit Ramondre in championship week, but you have Evan Ingram ranked much higher than Dallas Goedert. Thoughts on why so low on Dallas and so high? Well, I mean, for starters, Goddard's been back for like 1 week. I still think he's kind of getting settled into the offense. This is also pull up the matchup real quick. This is also a Saints team that allows the single fewest fantasy points to the tight end position. So that's a little bit scary. And Evan Ingram has just been, his ceiling has been fucking insane this year. Got a good matchup. I know they're like kind of not playing. Look at the last fucking 4 games he's played in. 5 for 30 and a touchdown, 11 for 162, 2 touchdowns, 8 for 62, 7 for 113. I mean, look at the last 4 games. He's been the tight end 1 overall. Like, how can you possibly sit him, you know? I almost feel like if you can get both of them in your lineup, do it. Minshew or Purdy, half PPR. I actually started off the video answering this question. I would go Minshew there. Kirk or McLaurin, half PPR. Give me a sec. That's a good one. 2 good players. But I would go McLaurin here. I have McLaurin at wide receiver 12, great matchup, and I have Kirk wide receiver 16. So I like both of them, but I like Terry a little bit more. Kirk or London? Kirk there. Kirky baby there. London's cool, but I don't think he's got a ton of upside. Not Kirk level. Kirk's had a couple of games this year that you're like, yeah, that's why the fuck I drafted him. Boy. What else? How we doing? We're going Hoodie Nick for championship. Half PPR, Christian Watson and Olave plays this week. Would you play either over Pittman? I don't trust either of them this week. No. Neither of them will be in my lineup. Had to start Moss in the chip week because of Henry being out. Yuck, hoping for 3 TDs. Does Zach Moss have 3 TDs in his career? Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. All right. He had 4 rushing touchdowns in 2020, 4 in 2021, 0 this year. A couple of receiving touchdowns. Yeah, I think you have a pretty good shot of that happening. We got the Bash Championship this weekend. Jordan's flying out here right now. He's on his way. I got to go get the key for the Airbnb, too. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's up, y'all? Any more questions? We chilling? What's everybody doing for New Year's? What's everybody doing tonight? Any good plans? Any parties you want to invite me to or what? Boy. What is that? I follow an account on Twitter called Brand Eating, like BRAND Eating, and it just like tweets out news about fast food and chain restaurants, and it's like kind of interesting, but it's kind of ridiculous. They just tweeted something out a couple minutes ago. White Castle reveals its deal schedule for January, February, and March of 2023. Free dessert on a stick, no purchase necessary. Like what? What are you talking about? I watched you guys all season, got into 3 chip games, made 5 semifinals. Good Lord. Only way I couldn't score in was the Bash. Maybe next year. Thanks, BDGE. That's a great fucking season. I'm going to attribute that to you, not to us. I don't want to take any credit for people doing well, because I also don't want to take any credit for people doing poorly. I try to keep that motto with a lot of things in my life. I'm not good at it, but I like to do that. Otherwise, the highs get too highs, the lows get too lows, you know. Don't get high in your own supply. As Gary Vee would say, you know, don't hear the cheers. It'll help you not hear the boos. You don't want to, you know, social media as a content creator, every time everyone says good shit about you, you know, it's like Like, thank you, but you can't really look into it too much because if you do, then you're going to hear all the negative comments really, really loudly. I don't know where I was going with that. What was the question? Bash question. Plans on the Bash rolling over next season, or do you start fresh with new Bash entries available? I mean, yeah, we're not. I mean, of course, we'd have to like we're not just giving new passes. We're not just giving a pass to every single person who was in it last year. One, because like no one like here's the thing when it comes to like selling products is in order for people to like understand what they have, like we if next year we launch the Bash and we were just like all the 600 people that bought them last year get it this year, and we just gave it to them for free, there would be like 60% of people who just like never join their leagues. In order to communicate with an audience, you have to say the same thing probably 12 times on 12 different platforms for them to for 60% of the people to hear it. So we would need an exactly fresh crop of it. And I didn't know what your question was related to like finances, but we don't have no money left from the Bash. We would have to do a new launch of it because we can't give the prizes out again that we don't have the money to. So we would have to have everyone repurchase new BDG 3 passes. What is happening with my hair right now? So the plan would be, to start completely fresh over next season. Except for one person. FFRM went undefeated this year. 12-0. So we gave him a BDG 3 pass for life, which is pretty fucking cool. It's only one of those. Don't hear the cheers. Yeah, I mean, like, the problem is, like, if you start to rely on the cheers or the boos or whatever, you need external validation for your happiness. And once you do that, you start to go down a really sour path, you know? You need to be able to rely on yourself. You need to have intrinsic motivation. You need to have things that motivate you and that drive you outside of like other people. Because then your entire life becomes what other people like and not what you actually like, you know? Maybe some more contests to win BDG 3 pay. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. We'll definitely do some more giveaways. I think one of the things that we'll be switching up next year is we gave like a decent amount away for free to like influencers and fantasy analysts in the space because it was good marketing, right? It's cool that you guys get to play in leagues with like Josh Norris and Ray G and Matt Kelly and whoever your favorite analysts are that we had in the leagues. So we wanted to use that as like a marketing promo, but we found out obviously the people that are in our audience that actually paid to be in it took it way more seriously, way more engaged, way more involved, and participated to a much higher level because obviously they paid for it. They had something on the line, and those people that we gave it to for free almost didn't participate. Not that they didn't set their lineups, but like we're not promoting it. We didn't ask them to promote it, but like they didn't. It seemed like they didn't care about it. So we're not going to do that again this year. Well, I don't want to quote myself on that, but we're probably going to look at other strategies in order for marketing of the event. I would rather give it away to really passionate BDG audience members and fans than to these fantasy analysts who don't care as much about the product as we do, which would open up, if we gave away 40 last year or whatever, that would open up 40 that we can do through contests, giveaways, whatever we want to do. We could also expand it too. I mean, we did 600 this year. The audience is a lot bigger now. So we could, try to do 800. We could try to do 1,200. We could try to do a fucking 10 million. Hey, what's cracking out there for New York, New Year's Eve? I honestly wasn't going to do shit. I wasn't going to do anything. I was planning on when the Bash finalist Jordan got in from his flight, we were going to go hang out, chill, go grab some drinks or whatever, keep it low key for the night, and then rip it tomorrow for the games in the Bash Championship. But then I reached out to then I realized, like, Nick, you're not fucking 90 years old. It's probably, oh my goodness Christ, I need to chill. Man, you ever feel like you're a good person that just consistently does bad things? Does that make you a bad person? Not like overtly bad things, but you have a few flaws in your personality that you continuously do over and over again. Like you continue to make the same mistakes over and over again, even though you know it's not good for you. It's probably not a good question to ask. You guys ask the fucking questions. I'm done here. I didn't even answer your question. Okay, so yeah, I realized I was not fucking 98 years old, and then and then um And then I texted everyone I knew in New York City to see who had plans. And then I found someone who had a big reservation at a really cool place downtown that they added me and Tony onto. So we're going to go out there tonight in Greenwich Village. It's this like jazz bar, which is kind of cool, like live music, but I've only ever hung out outside, like at a table outside because it was like summertime. So I don't even know what the inside looks like. But it's a big reservation of like 16 people. So, and I only know one fucking person that's going, which is cool because I like being in settings with new people. Like I love meeting new people. I like making new friends out here in New York. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. But that's the plan. That just makes you human. Yeah, the problem is sorry, I should have clarified. Like by bad habits, I mean they do affect other people. Like, and I kind of sometimes make the decisions knowing that it's going to be negative impact on other people as well. You know, like, and it's like it's like one of those, it's like a short term win for me. And I know it's going to eventually be bad for somebody else. It's not good. Which is the opposite of who I am. Usually I'm very good at looking at long term things and making a decision that's positive for the long term, in which it usually means a short term loss. You sacrifice a little bit right now for a good long term thing, but I keep making some of the same mistakes that are like short term dubs for long term L's for other people. I got to get off this subject. Anyways. Yeah, does anyone else have any questions for me, please? Fantasy related? All right, I guess life related too, but whatever. Yeah, we'll just chalk it up to this. That makes you human. Cool. For a while, I thought I wasn't human. I feel like an alien sometimes. I really do. Like, I don't sleep. Some days I go, like, I'll eat like a banana at 10 a.m. and then a pizza at 10 p.m. And then I'll just do the same things like 5 days in a row. And I'm like, this can't be how other people live their life. There ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. I'm leaving that shit. All right. I'm going to make a promise to you. I ain't doing this shit again. I ain't doing this shit again in 2023. That's it. We cutting it out, which means I got to trim the fat now for 2023. Love that. Love talking to you guys. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Ooh, my trap's just cracked. That was sick. All right. Willie, hey, thanks for help this year, Nick. Much appreciated. See you later, bro. Thank you guys, man. Thank you all for the support this year. Only bigger and better things to come in the future. Much bigger year ahead. 2023. We're going to murder this shit. Why are there new people coming into the private live stream now with 2 minutes left? Want to wish you a happy new year, Big R. Great to see success. Also, make sure to take time for yourself. Yeah, never that. I can't live in the moment, dogs. We've got to move. We're always on the move. I'm going to try this year, though. Sounds like you have a resolution. There you go, James. I'm going to stop being a piece of shit. You're a good man. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you all for joining me on the final Q&Assault of 2022. Good luck in your championship games. As always, the Discord is there if you need any other help with your questions. Love you guys so much. I'm out.